And being joined right now by Kaunda, looking dapper. All in royal.
I say the same about you, Jeffrey. It's a big one, really, and Nigerians are saying a lot about the big story, really. That's what played out at the Senate. Senator Ningi, Abdul Ningi, a whistleblower, trumpet blower, treated unfairly. Let us find out what you think about that. We're starting off with that trend this morning, and, well, it is called Senate suspending Senator Ningi over 3.7 trillion naira budget padding claims. And I'll begin with this one from Shafi Hamidu on X. We'll take a look at what Shafi Hamidu says this morning. It says the suspension of Senator Ningi is going to raise more questions than answers. This is a way, this person believes, to cow all senators that wish to be whistleblowers into silence. If he writes to apologize, will that change anything about the allegations that are already in the public domain? What we expect the Senate to do is to open an independent investigation into the matter. Only independent reports can clear this mess, and not for the senators to clear themselves and punish the whistleblower. That's what Shafi Hamidu believes. Let's put out on X this morning.
Well, Kaunda, maybe you have to take the next one.
Couple of ones, actually. Adangana 03 also has this to say about the Senate suspension of Senator Ningi, saying the remaining respect which Nigerians have for the Legislative Assembly is now fading away. He says a thorough investigation needs to be conducted, not suspension of Ningi, who brought the matter to the public knowledge. Yes, I believe that's what you meant to say there. And this is, again, another angle to this one. Mind you, there are those who say, well, the Senate did a good thing by suspending Senator Ningi. I mean, that's a major one. Some even said he should have gotten more than 3 months. Remember, I think it was the senator from Ondo State.
Yeah, Jimo Ibrahim wanted him away for a year.
A year.
A full year.
And then eventually it was cut down to 3 months. Some people say, well, it should have been more than that. So obviously this is what you get with democracy. A lot of people with diverse opinions, literally.
So let's get to, if you guys can get me the next tweet so we find out what exactly the people are saying as far as this is concerned. Yes, this is coming from Jagaban Yola, Tinubu loyalist. One would have expected that a thorough and forensic investigation of the allegation is first considered before swiftly wielding the big hammer. The issue is too controversial and of immense public interest than to be buried with a hurried suspension of the whistleblower.
Well, Bel Shaggy is next. Says the suspension of Senator Ningi sends a very bad signal. That's what he believes. That's particularly for the 10th Senate. The senator only raised an alarm, and the Senate should have declared an investigation to either prove him wrong or rectify the problem. But suspending him is an admission of guilt, he believes. Nigerians are watching. Yeah, indeed.
Absolutely. And this is coming from Honorable Henry Shield that say the only thing that surprised me is the suspension of Senator Ningi is the fact that not one opposition stood up for him. In a normal society, all opposition senators would have walked out of the Senate chamber with him.
Well, and I think that's another point in all of this, because in that Senate chamber, you have not just the APC and the PDP.
There's 7 political parties.
So, I mean, a lot of people were looking at one of the Labour Party senators and wondering, would anything be said about this? Even though one of his colleagues in the PDP, Cross River, Jaribe also said something in that regard, but not to say, don't let us suspend him, at least to the much.
Another thing I was also expecting, curiously, I don't know why, I don't know, but from the proceedings I witnessed, so correct me if I'm wrong, for those of you who watch, I don't know whether I saw any ladies stand up to say anything. I'm not sure I'm not sure whether any lady said anything, but our ladies need to speak up again. These are moments where it's a political moment where you make your voices heard. So, questions,
really. Tech statistics says proper investigation should have been conducted before Senator Ningi was suspended. It appears he has been set up as a scapegoat for other wannabe whistleblowers in the Senate.
Well, he has said he's going to carry his cross, and he did carry that cross. This is Kenny Nuga, says the Nigerian Senate is too, in his words, shady, and suspending Senator Ningi is totally unacceptable. The freedom of speech of all Nigerians must be respected.
Absolutely. You know what? We can actually break this story down in different parts. Jeffrey has raised some other issues. Another one which we reference is Senator Jaribe's comment about, some senior high-ranking,
they call it ranking
senators,
yes,
getting 500 million naira for their constituents. So that has also been a major talking point. You see, the underscore Bearded Shina says, do you know how painful it is? Yeah, I think how is missing there. To hear that in this Nigeria, some senators get 500 million naira each, and some of these senators, the whole of their state, cannot boast one functioning MRI machine for patient care. We're in deep problem, he says. Even though Senator Jaibe tried to, say that, well, I meant for constituency, not into their personal pockets.
Yes, we must be clear on that.
He put out there
constituency project, because he's saying that I didn't get up to 500 million naira for my constituency.
And I'm not a junior senator in
Why
court.
some even got billions for their constituency. In fact, Ningi also said another thing, looking at the Senate president and said, you know how much I earn? I don't know. How much is your take home? So a lot of money talk yesterday. So Mr. Sound says 2023 budgets, the Senate didn't share up to 500 million naira to each senator's constituency. Yet the people in those constituencies will boldly say they didn't see any effect of the money allocated to them. 2024, now it's higher to 500 million. The people won't still see the money at work.
And this next one, Merrill underscore Ayomi, just to put in perspective, this is said to be money budgeted for 2024.
Yes.
Except this is going to be a record. I don't imagine that they've spent the money already. Well, hey, things happen.
We're still operating the last
exactly.
Budget.
Except this is a record, and we're seeing that in March. But this is what you have to say. 500 million naira for what? The argument isn't that the citizens are suffering. It's that the money didn't go round. So, yeah.
So this is the way the budget system works. So they, as representing their constituents, have interest in ensuring that developments are attracted to their people, which is what they call constituency projects. And we still need to probe that further, because at some point legislators, they are not executive to execute anything. But sometimes we see things and we wonder, is he supposed to do this or not? Oh, but let's go. This one says Rasta Nation, that's the name here. People are dying every day. Our educational system is dying. No good roads, no electricity, and no good hospital, while only government officials are sharing 500 million naira. It's a pity, sha. They're not even afraid to say it. We're never ready at all. Our suffering just did start. That means it's just beginning.
Olajuwon Akim is trying to do some clarification, I shall say. But the question, Jeffrey, again, is local governments are going to be doing these things. What's the point? But take a look at what Dicey Dot. Oh, by the way, Olajuwon says it's not talking about pocketing the money, but rather projects. But iTubs PTY, I think, says, dear members of the Senate, did any of you receive 500 million naira for constituency project? Question mark. If you did, kindly provide the details of the projects you intend to execute. We need to hold every senator accountable. If you belong to a constituency, which I imagine you do, you're a Nigerian, find out who your senator is. And I'm talking to the person who posted this and other Nigerians. Find out who your senator is and ensure that those questions are also put to them directly. We'll do our bit here as the media. But don't forget, we didn't elect them. You elected them, so to speak. So you have to ask those questions.
So it's important to say, if our guys at budget do a fantastic job. So if you go to budget, you're going to see how much comes to each constituency, each state, each local government. So you can posit that, put it side by side. They say they want to do this. How much they really do? So find that out. Bandits kidnapped 60 persons, over 60 persons, actually 61, according to the number we had. So you've been talking about this. Voltage says Air Force in Kaduna, Army base in Kaduna, yet kidnapping is still booming in Kaduna. Quite a paradox.
It's just really shocking on all levels. And there's a lot to say about this one, because we're still reeling from
We're not done with the kids.
Kidnapped, 287 of them. And, well, take a look at this one from Mimo of Okeari. Say, how do you even kidnap a whole 60 people? If you're asking that, then ask again. How do you kidnap almost 300 people? 60 in a state that has police, army barracks, Air Force base.
Nigeria sometimes defines economic logic, now it's defying security logic. Ahmed Kabir says, what's going on in this country? Do we have ministers of defense, chief of staff, chief of army staff, and the rest? This is getting out of hand. People are being kidnapped every single day, as if we don't have a government.
Those are what, you have on your mind. Let's take this one as well. Taiwo Ashabiomo says, my take on this is that the government shall try every possible thing they could to put an end to kidnapping in Nigeria. I think there's like millions of Nigerians lined up behind you in that one.
Oh boy. So let's move on now to what happened in Wuse Market. Let's take a look at what exactly occurred in Wuse Market. Yes, those are the visuals that came from Wuse Market in Abuja yesterday. That fire incident that destroyed goods and property. People literally scampering for safety and trying to rescue whatever they could rescue that was left of their wares and goods. So you've been talking about this, and so let's take a look. Yes, those are people just trying to get out what they can get out after the inferno. Investments gone in just a flash. But let's find out how you are responding to all of this. This person says, Abake Alase says, in this country, I hope we have fire and burglary insurance.
And you know, we heard that 10 shops were affected at least.
Yes.
There were advisories that afterwards they should put fire tenders in place and the rest. But Obina has this to say, the sad thing is that some people's sources of livelihood will go down in this fire, and probably they might not recover from it. I think carnage is not the exact term here, because carnage means people killed.
Yeah.
It's a bloody manner, so I'm sure you mean a fire.
Okay, so we have this one from Emma Tent. He said, this isn't funny this period.
But that's
May
Zainab
God help.
first.
Okay, Zainab, okay. In a harsh weather and harsh economic climate, we can only wish owners of the burnt shop in Wuse Market divine intervention and comfort. Exactly. What really can you say to people who watch their life destroyed right in their faces? It's quite difficult, it's quite a challenge, but our thoughts and our prayers are with them, as well as we call on the government to do what they can do. The FCT minister to do what he can do with his team to give them some level of succor. May not be able to restore all they've lost, but something to cheer them up and support them at this very time. Okay, so you could see our guest just a moment ago. We want to just jump into that conversation in just a moment, where we will be talking all about the budget, this brouhaha about padding, allegation, and the suspension, and what really is a budget and what it should do to impact your life and my life. That will be in a moment. Join us again.
Yeah.